where boys at that particular age are likely to be slightly taller. There is an overlap, but if I were to ask you what is the gender of a pupil who is greater than 1.35 meters tall, the likelihood is that individual would be a boy. And if I asked you what is the gender of a pupil who was less than 1.25 meters tall, the likelihood is that would be a girl. Now, when we try and understand the use of that particular marker for gender, you end up with trying to assess how good a test is. So in this particular case, in the first example I gave you, where height was a very good predictor of gender, we can measure this as an area under a receiver operating characteristic curve. Sorry to be complicated about it. These curves were originally used to test the abilities of radar operators during the war. And they were asked to determine whether a spot on a screen was an enemy aircraft or not. And in order to test them and to analyze that data, they used rock curves. That's why it's so called. Now, one of the things that I mentioned previously is that this height issue in class 4A was a very good discriminator. Under those circumstances, the area under the rock curve would be a 1. So this ranges between 0.5 and 1, and it's a very good test in that particular class. For the second example I gave you, where there's complete overlap, it would be represented by this line, diagonal line here, where the chances of you being able to tell whether it's a girl or a boy is like tossing a coin. And the area under that curve is 0.5. And then in between, there are these two curves where there is an intermediate value to that particular test. So what you're trying to do is